Hello, everyone. My name is Federico Sargentone. I am a writer, culture critic based in Milan. I also have an agency that's called Counter Subject, which is an advertising agency. Basically, we work with brands. I've never lived in Venice. I go very often. It's my favorite place in the world. It is, I say all the time. It's really true. But I've never lived there, so I really don't know what it feels to live there every day. But I can see it from here. I know there's a dog on the leader that's called Gramsci, but because you told me, I like that. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, Gramsci the dog obviously calls for a mention to Antonio Gramsci, obviously. We were talking about the dog because we wanted to touch on this idea of the street intellectual, which is a fabricated notion, I would say, that I personally fabricated, kind of twisting Gramsci's word. The actual original coinage from him was the organic intellectual. The organic intellectual was someone who didn't belong to a certain educational and theoretical class or social class, if you want. So basically, the notion of the organic intellectual meant that intellect and revolution, because for him, there was this kind of synonymity between intellectualism, intellectual activity, and revolution. Was basically someone who didn't come from either an academic background or a culturally privileged background. So the intellectuals are organic to the world. So they actually live within the world. And so for me, taking that kind of mindset, obviously the street is like more of a gangster nuance to it. So basically an intellectual that lives in the street, people that actually inhabit the world rather than kind of commenting on it from afar or from the top or from above. So it's a behavioral nuance of the intellectual. It's behavioral and cognitive nuance of a person who still has an intellectual drive. And again, intellectual drive to the revolution, because that was what it was important. And when it comes to the cultural production in Venice, I feel that there's an insularity. This is very banal. It's possibly the only city that acts as a container for all these people, almost like if it was a, like almost if it was an aggregation center, both for the city's specificity and moreover when all the artistic scene was gathering there. And this has been going on for a long time. It dates pre-War One. It's something that it's endemic to the city, and obviously the city has shaped that institution as well. When it comes to today's manifestations of the Venice Biennial, as with everything, kind of the meaning gets diluted, and the artistic movements are not, they don't have the same avant-garde drive. So it's a bit of a problem that both the institution has and both the work of artists have. I'm a very delusional thinker when it comes to today's artistic production, like contemporary art production. And so I really don't think that the Venice Biennial reflects anything going on in the world, or it does, but it does in a very like, as with everything, it does with a very mm, superficial way, or like just it does it just with language. It doesn't do it with concept. I'm gonna say a very stupid thing, but I was thinking about it yesterday, and this maybe is controversial, but it's the same that it's happening with cultural production also in a pop sphere. There's been a lot of controversy around, for example, the new season of Euphoria, in which everyone was like calling out for like a problematic depiction of the characters. And I was like, today people want to see on screen what they think. Like people have lost any kind of critical ability. So it is almost to say, I hate war, which I do, and I can say it. And so by that, it means that I don't want to see war movies. Today, like the critical ability of this generation or of everyone really by extension, it's like really A to B. It's really like they want to see the image of what they think and what they think is right, and art is behaving the same. Like it's very like hard to find confrontational voices. So obviously the Venice Biennial can't allow itself to be radical or or proactive, even if not radical. Venice is a sci-fi material. For it's been for ages, and it's like narrative material for a lot of writers and for a lot of image makers and for everyone. The fact that it's one of the most unique places in the world. There's this conceptual translation of that. It's that more than a place is becoming a product, like everything. This has nothing to do with the people that were born in Venice or that live in Venice. Has nothing to do with the citizens of Venice or the Venetian lagoon, but it has to do with yeah, commodification of public space, which is not really my personal line of inquiry. But or one can think about Jeff Bezos' wedding, which Venice was completely privatized and completely like shut down and like treated almost like a theme park. From tourism, we went to straight on commodification, so like actually renting out Venice. It's a very different phenomenon. So it's a bit of a paradoxical domino effect. Like if in the 2000 the tourism was the problem, now it's the problem is people who want the island or the city for themselves. So it's actually the opposite.
Are you going to see the Russian pavilion?
Let's see. You wanna put me on a? Can I skip this question?
Yes, you can.
Because I would go, obviously.
Obviously, because they booked great DJs.
Because I'm a human being who reads the news and lives in this, and I wanna know. I wouldn't say I would. It's an attraction. So how that? Let's go next question. Too complex.
We could talk about the creation of the US Pavilion. The curators were replaced, and now the director is this pet shop owner from Florida.
Whoa. Okay. Let me check.
From Mar-a-Lago.
Oh God, yes, I know what you mean. I'm so here. Problematic. Um,
The artist who was
mm,
originally showing, Robert Lazzarini,
I
proposed this great American flag project.
I was just saying I would just say that also the no, I can't say that. Dude, these questions you have to do something about you no, wait, what I would say is that uh during fascism, the Venice Biennial was also going on as well. And obviously that reflected the mm, political agenda of the regime. At the Venice Biennial, at the opening, you will see political representatives of every government, especially since Italy is the host nation. You would see delegations of a relatively far right government. I also think that the Prime Minister of Italy will do a speech, or she will be present at the inauguration. She would do like a press tour or an institutional walkthrough, whatever you want to call it. So I am not surprised. And also, I believe that pavilions of the nations at the Giardini act almost like embassy territory. So basically, they are an extension of the rules and laws of the governments under embassy um, premises. So I really don't want to misspread misinformation, but this is what I'm 90% sure that it is. So the Giardini pavilions follow under certain national jurisdiction, let's say, to keep it vague. So I'm really not surprised. It's what's been happening for years, and like it's a government-backed institution, the Venice Biennial. It's a very politicized institution. I am now at the unlikely pavilion. All right, that was cool. You have a very like sharp, stick, like very nasty question. I love a challenge.